What do you think this place was for?
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. You picked the wrong fight!
I never miss!
Take this!
Double Demon Fang!
Denied! We
I'll
natural
smash
energy!
you!
Magic arch field! Don't mind if I do! Gemini Aqua!
Did you head its weak points?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Demon Fang!
Away! Gemini Aqua! Whirling struggle! Blah, blah, blah!
Can you take it?
Double Demon Fang!
Raging Cascade!
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilate! Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! You need this! Water! Hear my call!
Double Demon Fang!
Blah, blah, blah! Glacial Steel! Here's the evil! Confiscated!
Double Demon Fang!
Ready to go!
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilation!
Ready for you?
More with that kid!
Double Demon Fang!
Gusty nail!
Double Demon Fang!
Water here! Let me help!
Double Demon! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Eat dirt!
Water! Hear my call!
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more
Where are
careful.
you going? A chain between
Now
heaven
you
and
see
earth!
what I can do!
A
Everlasting dust!
rolling dance of light!
Here I
ready! Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Raging instant!
Plasma Shock!
Gemini Aqua! Radiant! Not in your dreams!
Seismic rupture! Elusive deity!
This one's all mine!
Makes it the official clear for us
Burn
to
in
pass!
hell!
Steel Force!
Double Demon Fang! Plasma Shock!
Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Resonate with the earth!
Plasma Shock!
Stalagmite!
Water! Hear my call!
Blood! Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Astral energy! Illuminate the dark!
Stalagmite!
Holy land! A chain between heaven and
Demon
earth!
Fang! Plasma Shock!
This'll come in handy!
Seismic rupture!
Try harder!
Bloody!
Double Demon Fang!
Such unadulterated fury.
Now I can let loose!
Raging
Double
Storm!
Demon Fang!
Let the mark of heaven!
Double Demon
I'll
Fang!
lift you up! Big with darkness!
This one's all mine!
Firmament, here's a healing arc!
Last shot! You picked the wrong fight!
In a bind?
I didn't think you had it in you.
Focus. There'll be time to congratulate me later.
Nothing much I can say to that.
Healing circle!
I owe you one!
Why'd you do it?
To stop you die? That move!
Here comes the big one! Double demon fang! Incineration wave! Double demon fang!
Flaming fury! Glacial spear! Here's evil! This one's mine!
Double demon fang!
Healing arc!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too! Here's a healing arc!
Incineration wave!
You require a hand.
Sleep now! Annihilation!
It's on!
Lightning orb!
Well, this
Burn
way.
hell!
It's showtime!
Demon blast! Mirage! Eagle ray!
Healing circle!
In a bind? Power surges. I'm sorry.
You do the same for me.
Smash you!
Mega red one! Here goes! Annihilate now!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests. What do you mean? You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohelium's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind,
Get lost!
I have no limits!
Thanks, Sheila.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. Do better.
Exploit the enemy's weakness
to be let free.
Raging cascade! Lunar corruption!
Plasma shock!
Everlasting shock!
Negative gate! Plasma shock!
They smite with blackened
Wide open!
It won't escape me.
Double demon fang!
This one another incantation ruin.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Can't get out
Leave
of
it to you! Double demon fang!
Amazing.
Eat dirt!
Here goes! Not on my watch! Healing circle!
Plasma shock!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
What would I do now?
Plasma shock!
Firmament rider!
Resonate with the earth.
Double demon fang!
Gemini Aqua! Men here!
Double shock!
There with the others! That'll bring you down!
Double demon fang!
Power of water!
Plasma shock!
Cyan instant! Now! Astral energy!
Say no more.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
Be a delicious piece of
Double
cake!
demon fang! Ignite!
Ready! Searing flame!
Double demon
Reload
fang!
cream! Illuminate blazing melee cute and stuff, but they're vicious!
In a bind?
Too much to handle? Blaze the choke! A change is
I'm ready!
I'm go! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! Raging cascade! Hear my
Plasma
call!
shock!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Doing!
An astral art?
Victory is
That's my
within
cue!
reach.
Dig deep, and we can do this!
Impressive servo, little one.
I can do it all day!
Your style is beautiful.
You just watching or what?
No, I'm still in this.
Well, looky here! won't forgive you!
Double demon fang!
Can you take it?
Into the shadows!
Raven fang is yours to be let free!
Mega Red!
Take this!
I can shatter any steel!
Victory is within reach. More
Dig deep, go even pin them down!
Justice further, little one.
Coming!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Mirage! Plasma shock!
I'm ready!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Not on my one! Glacial Spear! Here's the Lightning Orb!
Burn!
Freeze Laser! It's set now!
Shock! More?
Photon
Mirage!
Help it!
Plasma
Do it!
shock!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Thousand Gales! Tear you to shreds! Mega Ray! I never miss! Let the lightning handle it!
Plasma shock!
Escape my judgment!
Mirage! Double demon fang!
Reinforcers?
I don't feel like my usual self.
Are you alright? Let me handle this one.
So sorry to disappoint you.
I'll fix you up!
Style is beautiful to observe.
You just watching or what?
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Illuminate the dark!
Resonate
Come
with the
forth,
earth.
Holy Glitter! Holy Lens!
This one's all mine! Plasma shock!
Awaiting Dancing Flame!
Mirage!
I'll fix you up!
Burn in hell!
Magic is there! Air
Plasma shock!
Do it, sweet dreams! Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Plasma shock!
Healing circle!
In a bind?
To pull myself together.
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me. You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Mirage! Plasma shock!
Water, hear my call!
I'm ready! Shock!
Sweet dreams! Sleep now!
Double demon fang!
Hear my call!
Plasma shock! You picked the wrong fight!
Here's evil! Do it! Photon Blast! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't give a damn why they're here. Well,
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Linwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
No choice.
Take on time.
Double
Crazy
demon fang.
cascade.
Lots of stuff.
Spread.
How about
Between
this?
heaven and earth.
Mirage.
A wailing Gantia lightning.
Lots of stuff. This
Where
one's
are
all
you
mine.
going? Oh,
Mirage.
starting wind.
Not today.
Do it.
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
Lots of stuff.
Certainly not.
Mirage.
Do it.
Lots of chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. Lots of stuff.
Raging storm. Do it.
Mirage. We are.
Undefeatable!
Unflappable. Forget you!
Demon fang.
Raging Luna Storm!
Lightning orb! Tornado!
Double demon fang.
Hit! Those flying creatures are a real pain in the
No
butt!
further!
Hit!
Aim for the weak
Lunar
spot.
corruption!
Double demon fang.
Raging storm! One Mega ray!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! Another incantation ruined!
Vanquish
The
darkness!
flame inside makes sure will be let free.
Don't suffer in your death, Zoe. When tonight's meal is on you, you got it.
Armor won't
save Demon Land! The fluidity of your movement absolutely incredible.
That's my cue!
Shut him down.
Searing flame!
Mirage.
I'm ready! Where are you going?
Seismic rupture.
Champion World!
Time to let it rip. Slap the shock.
Cyan Instant!
Mirage.
By the power of
Not
water!
today.
Here goes!
Slap
Letting
the
your dream
shock.
into the shadows!
No further!
Here, let me help! With natural energy!
Mirage. Try harder. Slap the shock.
Between heaven and earth!
Slap the shock.
A wailing Gantia lightning!
Mirage. Slap the shock.
Goodbye, guts! Not
Mirage.
Sleep now!
Slap the shock.
Get out of here with together! Mega ray!
My turn.
By the
Leave the
power of
sword
water!
to me.
Far enough!
Eat dirt! Elusive deity! Mirage! Plasma shock!
Hold on to your art. Here I come.
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons. Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Little help.
Double demon fang! Try harder!
This one's mine.
Double demon fang!
Radiant storm.
Plasma shock!
Careful. It has some kind of camouflage. Magic is there.
Double demon fang!
My action. Holy land.
Double demon fang! Plasma shock!
Can't get out of
I'll heal you all.
Swallow blade! Burn in hell!
Healing circle.
from the
This one's
wind.
mine.
Okay, I'll smash you! Snake of the abyssal
What would I
deep,
do without
clear
you?
for us a path!
Into the
Mirage!
sky.
Incantation ruined! Plasma shock!
My heart sealed. Not in your dreams.
Mirage!
Power surges. I'm sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
Double demon fang!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Benediction light.
Plasma shock!
Hear my call!
Mirage! Double demon fang!
I'll stop its charge! Thank you, Tara!
Plasma shock!
Freeze Lancer!
Snake of the abyssal deep, clear for us a path! Plasma shock!
Freezing storm! Divine savior! Magic is there! Air thrust!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alvin. Very bad.
I don't feel so good.
Okay, here I go! Double demon! It's go time! Be so
Mega
Double
Ray!
demon fang! Double
Annihilation!
demon
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Here's evil!
Try harder!
Hold on to your Freeze Lancer! Here I
Double
come!
demon fang!
Take this!
Thunderblade! You can
Double
water!
demon
I'm
fang!
my call!
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more. The astral energy was incredible.
I gave it everything I had. Hey! Hey, I just realized something.
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, is that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's great spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn.
I owe you, Tion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do.
Your body's time to connect with! I can handle it. That'll bring you down. Not on my watch.
I can carve through armor!
Far enough.
Swallow blade! Rotating fire timer! Tornado drive!
Raging storm.
The flame of light is yours to be let free!
Magic advance!
Sleep now.
You're on!
I'll be saving this way. Explosion!
You're on!
Raging lunar storm!
Firmament render! And again! Arrow
Double
storm!
demon
I can do this all day!
No further!
Water!
This one's all mine! On
We natural energy! Glacial spear! Blazing arrow!
Eat dirt!
Sleep now!
With the earth!
Water! Get alive with the other! Art expert coming through!
Take rending you apart! Bloody holiday!
Their field!
Mirage! Negative gate!
Lunar blast! Searing tempest!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my
In the
shield's
sky,
for.
it's mine!
Get behind me.
Where are you
Got it!
going?
I'll leave it to you! Mirage!
Illuminate the
Blast
dark!
the shock!
Come forward!
The flame inside me
Reload!
yearns to be let free!
Illuminate the dark!
Mirage!
Reload!
Armor won't save you!
Reload! One more time! I'm out of
Blast
weapons!
the shock!
Magic is there! Annihilation! Lightning! Let's get you all tucked away!
Such unadulterated fury.
I can't heal you forever!
Let loose!
Tempest! Water! Here I come! Laser spear! Here's evil! Air thrust! Mega ray!
Burn in hell!
Annihilation!
Blast the shock!
Can't get out of this!
Downfall! Here's a healing art force!
Blast the shock!
Not on my watch!
Can you take it? Double demon flame!
Reload!
Try
Out
harder!
of ammo!
Snake of the abyss. Okay, here I go.
I'm all stopped up! Blah, blah, blah! Annihilation! Mega ray!
Double demon fang!
Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Double demon fang!
Tornado drive! Can you take it?
Whoa! Hey! Here's evil! Breeze lancer! Lightning orb! Laser spear! Here's evil! Holy
Double
light!
demon
Blah,
fang!
blah, blah!
Demon lash! Tornado drive!
That'll bring you down! Sleep now! There!
Ignite!
More! Mega ray!
Prepare to be
Pumpkin!
sealed! Double demon fang!
Take this! Now!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done! Mega ray!
Begin!
Shining
Double
super
demon
now!
fang! Seal it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
No choice!
Radiant here!
Crescent flash!
Can't
Blast
be
the
no
shock!
Gate line judgment!
They smite with black
Here
flame!
goes!
Blast the
Here's
shock!
Magic is there!
The ever
Mirage! Blast the shock!
I shall ensure you survive this!
Blast the shock!
I can carve through armor you apart!
Mirage!
Bloody howling!
Back into the fray!
Double demon
You fight
fang!
better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Here! Get on it,
Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
A chain between heaven and
Demon
earth!
fang!
A wailing fiancé of lightning!
Excellent technique. How are your weapons holding up? Best not to give me any ideas.
As impressive as always.
And here I hope there wasn't...
Your astral...
No, I mean, I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
Right. Expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
I won't forgive you!
Demon fang!
Photon blast! Illuminate by the power of
Demon
flame!
blast! Double demon fang!
A chain between
Shattering
heaven and earth!
pieces!
It can hide itself?
Amazing!
Begin! I can handle it! Scion instant! It looks like you got it
Double demon fang!
Shield! Mega ray! This'll
The
help!
flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Scion
Can't get out of this!
Whoa! Hey! One at a time! Lunar blast! This one's mine!
Demon fang!
Fluidity of your movement.
Blast the shock!
Snake can be a difficulty.
Blast the shock! Mirage! Double demon fang!
Flame of fury! Burning!
Blast the shock!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Double demon fang! Double demon fang! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Mirage!
I can carve through armor!
Hold on to your
Demon
arm!
fang!
Here I come! By the power of magic is there!
Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclops!
If you want me to keep healing you, I'm gonna need to rest up.
Sounds prudent.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?